Okay, hello everyone. Son of the West again. Yesterday I spent some time going over the knowledge contained within the book of Mystic Caterpillar. Specifically the parts of just giving you an overall just idea of the metaphors and whatnot. And I also explained the hymn of the pearl about how it's your story, and it deals with you overcoming worldly desire and worldly reasoning for staying here. Whatever you want to do in the world keeps you in the world. And so you got to overcome what you want to do in the world, because you really can't do anything for anyone else. We're all on our own paths. So to do something for somebody else takes away their free will, So you really can't do anything for anyone else. But Jesus understood this very well. And so he recorded his knowledge so that anybody who did choose to overcome the world and did choose to walk in his footsteps would see his knowledge and understand it. And, not so much would he necessarily save them, but when you do find the path and you do find the truth, and as he said, congratulations to you when you become conflicted, because you've truly come to know the Father. And what he's talking about is the confliction of what you find as truth versus what the life in the world has taught you. Those in the world who seek to profit from your labors seek to tell you that this is the only life you have and to hold on to it. But Jesus told you something totally different. Jesus told you that you have a spiritual life, a life of the child of God in you. And that's what he told you to focus on. Not on the things of this world, but on that. On the child of God in you. And so a lot of the knowledge that I have from Jesus comes from the Gospel of Thomas. And once I understood the Gospel of Thomas, then I could, look back at the Bible and read it with new eyes, so to speak. Read it with an open mind and an easy, once you have the basics of truth in you, you can clearly see the biblical description of it because you've already seen it. And so they're describing to you something that you've already seen, so you're like, yeah, I've seen that, no problem, I got it, but if you haven't ever seen truth, and you haven't eaten of the psilocybin mushrooms, and you haven't, like Jesus said, there are 5 keys of paradise for those who know them, and of he who knows them, of you will not taste death. And that is, that in itself is just a straight knowledge. But he doesn't ever actually say, this is it. He says that, and then if you already know what he's talking about, you're like, aha, I got it. So to ease your understanding of this, number 1 of the Gospel of Thomas says, and he said, and they're speaking, because Didymus Judas Thomas recorded Jesus' saying. So anytime it says, and he said, is basically them talking about Jesus and what Jesus said. So number 1 says, and he said, whoever discovers the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death. And so that in itself says he knew about these sayings, and he knew that these were a great way for him to keep teaching what he knew into the world without actually saying, you have to look at this way. He wanted you to choose your own way. So that's what it comes down to is, wow, it's been raining all morning, but suddenly the light just pours on in, huh? Awesome. So he knew these sayings were there. He knew that if you gain understanding of these sayings, you would know what he was trying to tell you. So therefore, what he was trying to do was save you from the world, save you from death, but he couldn't make your choice for you, so he gave you the knowledge of one who has overcome the world. He gave you the knowledge of one who has overcome worldly desire. So as you progress along that path, you can see that you're going in the right direction because you're truly following him at that point. And so that's why he laid down his knowledge, so that therefore he could, in doing what he did in the world, he solidified his knowledge. He made his knowledge permanent in the world so that anybody who comes to the knowledge can look at what he was saying and see the knowledge that he had and see the knowledge that they also have within them at that point and go, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm going to keep going in this direction, even though it's so conflicting comparative to what the society of man teaches us. So when in number 2, he says, those who seek should not stop seeking until they find. When they find, they will be disturbed. When they disturb, they will marvel, and they will reign over all. And after they have reigned, they will rest. Which means, in a world of people who don't know truth, for you to know truth, you reign over them. Not necessarily because you want to, because those who want power and control don't deserve it. Those who know truth and try to give to all that truth that they know for their whole life, then the truth is overcoming worldly desire. If you can live your life without worldly desire, at the end, you're going to find peace. You're not going to have to be in the physical world of enslavement anymore, of selfishness anymore. So, number 3 says, Jesus said, if your leaders say to you, look, the Father's kingdom is in the sky, then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will precede you. Rather, the Father's kingdom is within you, and it is outside of you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, then you live in poverty, and you are the poverty. Number 4 says, Jesus said, the person old in days won't hesitate to ask a little child 7 days old about the place of life, and that person will live. For many of the first will be last and will become a single one. Now, in this, what he's talking about is a little child 7 days old. Asking a little child 7 days old is eating a fully grown and matured Psilocybe cubensis mushroom. They grow to full maturity in 7 days old. So if you ask a little child 7 days old, he's talking about the shroom, about the place of life, that person will live. In other words, you eat the shroom, it gives you the truth, the way, and the life. And then because of that knowledge, you find heaven, basically. And when it comes time for you to leave this world, you go to life. So many of the first will be last and become a single one talks about how those of us who do achieve enlightenment and choose to stay within the world become a like-minded group. Become a single one means carry the same truth in you, because there's but one truth. Become a single one, you can't carry the main truth, and it is through your ways of interpretation and explanation that there are differences, but the truth that you describe is the same. So therefore, you carry the truth. We are the light workers who carry the truth and try to give this knowledge to everybody who will listen and who will openly minded accept it. The truth that we carry is the single one. And so many of the first will be last and will become a single one, which means we're going to be one group of light workers. One group of children who carry the Father's will, because there is but one Father, there is but one Father's will. If you carry that in your heart, then you are in that single one. You are in that single like-minded group, and that's what he's talking about. So number 5 says, Jesus said, know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed to you. For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and there is nothing buried that will not be raised. So understand that if you know the truth, that what you see in front of you is an illusion, the physical self is not you. You are learning through the physical self. What it is if you know that this is one big illusion designed to teach you something about yourself, you start paying attention to what you're doing more. You start paying attention to the things you're thinking, saying, and doing more, which is the path to enlightenment. Enlightenment is a full understanding of all that you do, and all the consequences and experiences associated with those choices, and the choices of what you're thinking about, the choices of what you're doing, the choices of how you interact with others, the choices of how your interaction with others is going to make that other person feel. And so once you start becoming one with that thought process and that mental auditing, so to speak, of how you're interacting with others, then you start to become knowledgeable about who you are inside, not the physical thing that you're in. And so that's basically what he's talking about, is know what is in front of your face. Know that this is one big illusion designed to teach you about yourself and guide you into learning how to be one with the Father, how to carry the Father's will, how to be a good child. And I'm running out of time today, and I wish you good luck, guys. I'm going to keep continuing these Gospel of Thomas videos. I think they're very powerful. I think that Jesus' knowledge was so simple and so pure that his leaving it behind in the world is designed to bring about the end of the world, because the end of the world is selfishness, and to come out of the world is to come out of selfishness. So that's basically what it comes down to. And I wish I could keep giving you more knowledge today, but I can't. I got to go to work. I got to make money to feed my family. And so I care about you guys. I wish you good luck. God bless. And enjoy your day. Have a great day. Be safe.